Bonjour! My name is Josh Arden and I'm a student at UCF. This summer, I got to spend a month in Paris, France with a program through my university. While there, we took lessons on the French language at the Sorbonne University and spent time outside of class exploring the sites or attending excursions designed to help immerse us in French culture and history. At UCF, I'm a communication major and a film minor. I've completed several courses focused on intercultural customs and communication forms and styles, so studying abroad was a great chance to get a first-hand look at another culture. Besides our language classes, we were tasked with personal challenge activities to supplement our learning and immersion. This final presentation has been designed for peers in my major who are interested in a look at communication studies in France. Studying cultural communication norms, values, and etiquette can help one understand the styles typically employed by the French. Language is at the core of communication. The French language has a deeply rooted history that many French speakers take great pride in. One example of France's language impacting the communication styles is that France is a high-context culture. Concepts and ideas might be more commonly conveyed through unspoken meanings as opposed to explicit messages. This means that there is a strong focus placed on body language, facial expressions, and the context of the situation to understand the message. One example of the nonverbal communication that many, including myself, come across while in France is an expression of feelings or emotions by making different sounds with one's mouth. Here is a clip of a native speaker quickly going through an array of sounds the French communicate with.
Bof. Oh là 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 là. Hop hop hop. Bah.
Some of the norms in France are more physical. It is common for friends to hug and kiss on the cheek. Solid eye contact is emphasized, and maintaining it is a sign of attention and care. When speaking with someone in France, they may stand closer to you than in America or Britain. In public areas, people may be more tightly spaced. One example of this, the group I was studying with experiences on the metro in Paris. We quickly got accustomed to riding in a full train car of people, often having little to no personal space and probably shoulder to shoulder or closer with a stranger. People usually don't bat an eye or get offended by squeezing by someone or pushing through a crowd to move around or exit a space, as long as you use some polite phrases. Here's an old video that shows an average day during busy times on the metro. When communication is verbal, several things are important to remember about the French language. The French typically use formal and polite speech. It is important to use proper titles like Monsieur and Madame, along with polite phrases like Bonjour, S'il vous plaît, and Merci. French even has formal and informal ways to say or ask the same thing. It is wise to use the formal versions of phrases, especially when talking to someone you don't know or with any superior or elder figure. While in my lessons in Paris, I was told that some find it best to use formal speech until the person you're speaking to tells you to use otherwise. These polite forms of speech and phrases, along with an idea of how to properly address someone, are core to the typical communication norms between people in France. Another factor of French culture is the high level of individualism throughout the country. This means that the needs of the individual are more important than the needs of the group. Of course, there are many instances of collectivist behavior in family and social settings, but France is known mostly to stress the significance of autonomy and independence. This is exemplified by the commitment and glorification of fine art, especially as a means to express oneself. Decision-making is left up to individuals over communities, and this idea is often supported on a professional level too. Although we discussed the typical close personal space and physical nature of some French norms already, personal information is not shared very openly, and privacy is super important to the citizens of France. Overall, the rights of the individuals plus personal expression and responsibility are the usual communication styles in France. Because of France's individualistic tendencies, many citizens are not afraid to speak their minds. Public communication is very common, especially in the city of Paris, and it comes in a variety of forms. Many citizens keep up with government actions and engage in political discourse. Sometimes this is done in person, but another widely used practice is to put messages on the streets, with posters and flyers or even murals and graffiti. This mass communication strategy can be used as a form of propaganda to support or counter ideas, often political, that might be gaining prominence. Public speaking and lectures are also performed to inform and/or persuade listeners. All of these forms of media are used in one way or another to communicate with many people in France at once. One particular type of public communication that France is notoriously known for are social movements or collective action entailing riots, rallies, strikes, and marches as a public group demonstration. These events advocate for a particular cause regarding a wide collection of issues relevant to the time. While in Paris, one notable protest took place, Le Marche contre l'extrême droite et pour le nouveau Front Populaire, or the March Against the Extreme Right and for the New Popular Front. Here's a short clip from online that shows the gathering.
On a 2 semaines pour réussir le Front Populaire, le nouveau Front Populaire. Je vous demande un tonnerre d'applaudissements pour Olivier Faure pour le Parti Socialiste.
This was a political rally designed to bring together citizens with similar values and send a message by walking in solidarity through the streets. This also tied in with the upcoming elections in France and in the EU, although many displays, like strikes, pertain to workforce disagreements like pay or labor laws. France has a deep history of protest and demonstration, so studying this way of French communication can help to get a well-rounded understanding of French culture. Altogether, France is a beautiful country with a rich history, and it is a fantastic place to study and experience different methods of communication. My time in Paris provided me with insights into the unique and interesting communication styles of French culture. Through language lessons at the Sorbonne University and real-life interactions, I saw firsthand the use of both verbal and nonverbal communication. The French emphasis on formality, individualism, and expression alongside their vast public communication and protest culture highlights the complexity of their social interactions. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this presentation offers a meaningful glimpse into the fascinating world of French communication.